Picture two families. One in California, sitting in their living room, nice house, good neighborhood, everything you'd expect. But underneath their feet, there is nothing. Just a thin concrete slab and then dirt. And somewhere in Ohio, right now, another family is sitting in their living room. Similar house, similar neighborhood, but underneath their feet, there is an entire extra floor, a basement. Dark, cool, full of storage, maybe a TV, maybe a washer and dryer. A whole hidden world that the California family will never have. Same country, same era, same building materials available to both. So why does one family have an entire floor underground and the other has absolutely nothing? The answer isn't money. It isn't preference. It isn't even the builders. It's something that happened millions of years before either house was ever built. And once you understand it, you will never look at the ground beneath your feet the same way again. To understand why Ohio has basements and California doesn't, you have to go back long before the first house was ever built, long before the first American city, long before humans even set foot on this continent. You have to go back to the Ice Age. 10,000 years ago, a massive glacier covered almost the entire northern half of North America. It stretched from Canada all the way down through Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and across the entire Midwest. A wall of ice, sometimes a mile thick, moving slowly across the land, grinding everything beneath it into something new. And when that glacier finally melted and retreated, it left something behind: soil. Rich, deep, stable, incredibly workable soil. The kind of soil that farmers would later call the best on Earth. And more importantly for our story, the kind of soil that you can dig into, straight down, clean, predictable, safe. Ohio sits right in the middle of that glacial deposit. When a builder in Ohio digs down 8 feet to pour a foundation, the ground cooperates. It holds its shape, it stays dry, it gives you a clean, rectangular hole that becomes your basement. The earth in Ohio was essentially prepared by 10,000 years of geological history to accept a basement. California got something completely different. While Ohio was being smoothed and flattened by glaciers, California was being torn apart. The entire state sits on top of one of the most geologically violent pieces of land on Earth. The San Andreas Fault runs almost the full length of California, nearly 800 miles, where two massive tectonic plates grind against each other every single day. The ground in California doesn't sit still. It never has. It shifts, it cracks, it moves in ways that make digging a deep foundation not just difficult, but genuinely dangerous. A basement in earthquake country isn't just a construction challenge, it's a liability. When the ground moves, a deep, rigid basement can crack, flood, or worse, destabilize the entire house above it. So California builders made a decision that became a standard, then became a code, then became a law: concrete slab foundations only. Stay on top of the earth, don't go into it. And just like that, the basement disappeared from California before it ever really arrived. But here is where it gets really interesting. Because earthquakes and glaciers explain why the basement started differently in each state. They don't fully explain why it stayed that way. Because today, we have engineering solutions that can handle earthquake zones. We have flexible foundation systems, reinforced concrete, seismic isolation technology that can protect a structure even in serious ground movement. Japan builds entire skyscrapers on earthquake fault lines. They figured it out, so why hasn't California? The answer is the same answer we found in Texas and Vermont. Culture moves slower than technology. By the time the engineering caught up, the slab foundation had already become California. Builders built it because that's what they knew. Inspectors approved it because that's what the code said. Buyers bought it because that's what every California house looked like. And somewhere along the way, the absence of a basement stopped being a geological necessity and became a lifestyle. In California, the garage became the storage room. The backyard became the extra living space. The square footage went outward instead of downward. Californians didn't lose a basement. They replaced it with something that fit their climate and their culture: outdoor living, open space, light and air instead of dark underground rooms. Meanwhile, in Ohio, the basement became something else entirely. It became the heart of the house, the place where the kids hang out after school, where the father builds things on weekends, where the family watches the game on Sunday, where everything the house can't fit upstairs quietly finds a home. Two states, two completely different relationships with the ground beneath their feet. One shaped by ancient ice that made the earth generous and stable. One shaped by ancient fire and friction that made the earth unpredictable and alive. And both of them built houses that made perfect sense for the world they were standing on. That's the thing about American houses that most people never stop to think about. They look like choices, they look like taste, they look like one builder decided this and another builder decided that, but they're not choices at all. They're answers. Answers to questions the land asked first. And if you want to see just how strange those answers can get, wait until you see what Louisiana did. Because Louisiana didn't just build differently from Ohio or California, Louisiana built differently from every single state in America. And the reason why will genuinely surprise you.